But I am thinking, so we should now change totally our university system, how we teach medicine, because it's directly based on certainty. For example, I always think you are a student and you go to the class and the teacher says to you, today we are going to speak about pneumonia. And it's standard certainty, pneumonia. And after that, you learn everything. But things in life are different. You start coughing, you go to the doctor, and after sometimes 1 week, sometimes never, or sometimes the same day, someone say to you, perhaps you have pneumonia. I mean, we should have. And the question is, how can we change the way of teaching, especially in countries like ours, like Spain, that our universities doesn't look to the society, and it's a very old-fashioned university without, for example, primary-oriented departments, multi-professional, blah, blah, blah.
I think we have to continue to believe in medical science as a force for good. So I think we need to have medical scientific knowledge, and we need to be able to reason from our biological knowledge, to think, to try and apply it to a different situation, and be aware of the different rates of things doing something. I don't think we cannot be doctors and nurses if we abandon biomedical science. But we have a terrible problem with the corruption of biomedical science. And so that's another cause of uncertainty, because we don't know which science is true and which science has been perverted by financial interest. But we need to keep trying to pursue a certain notion of truth. But pneumonia is an excellent example, because pneumonia in a child or a young adult is totally solvable by biomedical science. And as long as we still have some antibiotics that work, we can make people better, and that's nothing better than making people better. But pneumonia is the old man's friend. The old phrase in that's certainly an English proverb. But we don't let pneumonia be the old man's friend again, you know. So when we have an old man who's had a stroke, who's in bed, who's being fed through a peg tube, and he gets pneumonia, we should think, gosh, thank goodness. This man, it's possible for this man to die. He has to die sometime. It's like the dementia is a terrible condition. Probably if we all live long enough, we all get it. But it has a natural history. You are meant, when you have a severe dementing illness, to start, you can't swallow as well. You start to aspirate. You're meant to get a pneumonia. It's meant to be a way that you can leave this beleaguered place. And yet, we don't. As soon as people start to aspirate, we put a tube in, and then we don't treat the pneumonia. We go and treat the pneumonia. So pneumonia is such a good example, because it has the best of medicine and the worst of medicine in its management.